Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to a special CUNY Athletic feature, the Fall Spotlight Series. With fall sports canceled due to COVID-19 pandemic, we here at CUNYAC are spotlighting student athlete once a week during the fall semester, highlighting their accomplishments, talking about their experiences at the collegiate level, and what they've been up to over the past few months during quarantine. I'm your host, Eldridge Chavez, and you can catch the CUNYAC Spotlight Series every Friday at 4 p.m. here on our website, cunyathletics.com, and our YouTube channel, CUNY Athletics Conference, as well as our social media feeds by searching CUNY Athletics. Some housekeeping. Our webinar series, Talk About It Tuesday, another of CUNYAC special features, dives deep into different topics by a plethora of expert panelists dealing with subject matters such as mental health, financial aid, and our most recent sports nutrition. You can catch Talk About It Tuesdays live every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. by registering on our website, or catch the replay shortly after on the aforementioned platform services. Now, you're probably wondering who's this with me? And I'm excited to introduce our first guest, our first of many guests in the Spotlight series. She is the 2019 Northeast District A champion, a CUNYAC Scholar Athlete, Region 15 Honorable Mention, a CUNYAC All-Star. She is the Lady Tiger MVP and Team Rookie of the Year. From Queensborough Community College, she is the talented Bianca Brierre. Welcome, Bianca.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule, your school schedule, your busy schedule. Thank you so much for taking the time out and having this Spotlight series with me. So for those who don't know who you are, other than, getting spiked in the head with a volleyball, how about you just give us a quick minute or two and just introduce us and tell us who Bianca is.
Right, so my name is Bianca, and this is my second year at QCC, or my third semester, and I play volleyball and basketball.
All right, cool. So let's just get into it. We have a few questions here. So let's just start this interview process. You talked about Queensborough. Well, obviously that's where you're from. So what made you choose Queensborough College?
At the time, I wasn't sure of which college I went to. From high school, I wasn't sure of which college I wanted to go to. And it was the cheapest option for me. I felt like also I was playing volleyball at my high school team.
Okay.
So I wanted to go to like the highest level. Yeah. Everyone wants to go to the highest level, but I didn't have that option. So I thought QCC was the next best thing because they have their successful team and it's really cheap with a lot of resources.
Yeah. So how was that like? Were you recruited kind of thing, or you just kind of applied and then tried out?
So the head coach, Jason, he knew me from my high school season from like 2018.
Yeah.
And he gave me he gave my coach his business card.
Okay.
And I kind of ignored him. It was like in the fall and I ignored him. I didn't really think about QCC at all until last minute. And, back then, like I didn't have that many options. Like towards the end, like I just finally decided, let me go to QCC. So basically Jason recruited me in a sense and I also chose to go there.
All right. Awesome. What are you planning to major in? I know right now you're working in associates. What are you going to get your associates in, and what do you plan on getting your bachelor's in?
So right now I'm studying health science.
Okay.
So I'll graduate my associates in health science, but then I'll transfer to a nursing program. So I'm currently taking prerequisites for nursing.
That's awesome. And nursing is something you always want to do, or
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. That's great. No, we definitely need all the help, especially now in the world we live in. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. It said that your GPA is a 3.8. Is it higher than that? Is it lower than that? I just want to make sure I
get it. Correct.
Sounds correct. All right, let's boost it. 3.8. So congratulations to that. Obviously, academics is something that's extremely important. Was it difficult to juggle sports and academics, and especially keeping your grades so high?
Yes, it is difficult. It's basically a full-time job being a student athlete, and you have to know how to balance your life because you can't have too much sports and then your grades are going to suffer. But you can't be too like focused on school. You won't have time to practice or get your body stronger.
Okay. Um, any tips you could give to any student athletes who are trying to do the same thing you're doing right now?
Yeah, it's gonna be really hard to do this, but you have to discipline yourself and you have to make sacrifices.
So what sort of sacrifices did you make?
A big sacrifice that I made was social media.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have many social media accounts like I used to. And it's not only because of sports, it's because of my own mental health and spiritual health. Like I stayed away from social media
Yeah.
and like a lot of screen time. Like
Distractions.
yeah, I don't have that much, I don't have like Netflix, I don't have,
Really? Oh.
TV, I don't watch all that. But I do have my laptop, I watch YouTube sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I have to cut down on all of that, even though I enjoy it very much. I feel urges every now and then to like click on the next uploaded video by my favorite content creator.
Yeah.
But I can't because I have like my goals that I want to achieve.
Mm-hmm.
And it's only necessary that I stay away from certain things.
No, that's great. I mean, I wish I had that same attitude because I'm telling you, I'm looking at my phone every other minute, and it's a bad habit. Like I definitely need to kind of like break out that bad vice I have, which is being distracted. But that's great.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Um, so you missed early in the season when you're playing volleyball. You missed 7 games due to an injury. What was that injury, if you don't mind sharing?
So I got turf toe on my right
Oh,
foot
wow.
of
Okay.
my big toe.
Yeah.
I basically hyperextended it during practice. And I didn't realize until after practice because, the adrenaline, you don't feel anything.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, like, all of a sudden, like, after I got my bag, I was ready to go down to my athletic trainer. Like, I couldn't walk. Like, my foot was hurting so bad.
Wow.
And he told me, he didn't know what it was, but he told me that, like, I should take a couple of weeks off. And that's what I did.
Yeah. Did you have any sort of lingering effects when you came back, or you just needed that
Yes.
break? Oh, okay.
To this day, like, it still bothers me a little bit, but it's a lot
Wow.
better. Not like painful, but more like
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the injury happened and it's like the muscle's not the same.
Wow.
No.
Did you ever get it like checked out? Like you go to doctor or anything like that?
No.
No, just gonna let it heal. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you still did great. You finished the season top 2 in your team in hitting percentage, total blocks. You led your team with solo blocks with 16. Since your season was cut short due to that injury, how do you think you would perform in the full season with the Lady Tigers?
I think if I had, you mean if I have like kept playing?
Yeah, like if you didn't miss those 7 games, because you missed 7 games and then you still basically led the way for most of the categories, or at least you were top, 5 with the Lady Tigers. Basically, what I'm just trying to say is like, do you think your stats would have been that much better if you had like a full season under your belt?
Yes, if I wasn't injured, then yes. But if I played through the injury, I would not have had a season.
Oh yeah, of course. You'll just be limping across the all right, I figured that much. So let's skip ahead a little bit because obviously the Lady Tigers had a great season. I think you guys had like 24, 25 plus wins. So let's just skip ahead on to the CUNYAC finals against BMCC. You led the team with 12 kills and 2 blocks and an incredible 455 hitting percentage. What was your strategy going into that match, and what was it that coach had you guys focused on?
Before every match, like our goal is to play like we do in practice, and like to keep our energy up and to talk, communicate.
Yeah.
Our strategy was basically to win. Like we go in with a winning mentality, and nothing could stop us like after that.
Okay. And your practices, you guys go like 100%? You just back and forth against one another? Okay. All right. Jesus, I feel bad. I watched a couple of your games because I was actually interning when you guys were playing for your championship run. And it was such a mismatch. Like, my God, like you guys just steamrolled every team. I'm like, goodness. So obviously you guys won the CUNYAC championship, and then you guys made a run to nationals. Fell short, unfortunately. You guys finished ninth in the nation, which is nothing to sneeze at. What was that experience like for you, and how do you think it'll prepare you in the future?
Well, like you said, we fell just short, meaning that we were right there. So
Exactly.
that makes me think that during the season, like any little thing that we may have done or eaten or anything played into effect for that game that we lost. And, it brings me back to think when like we would have away games and we get meal money from the school, right? So as a team, we'd collectively choose to go to like Chipotle or another Mexican grill or Wendy's and the best food choices.
Yeah.
And also, I think for practice, maybe a little more intense training. Not that our practices were not intense,
Mm-hmm.
but I believe a lot in conditioning. Like, I believe that
Yeah.
it's like the bigger force behind, performance besides skill work. Skill work is important as well, but let's say you're working on a specific skill and your muscles get tired because they're not conditioned properly, and you fail at something because your muscles aren't conditioned, but you have
Yeah.
the skill.
No,
So
exactly.
I'm thinking like conditioning is like the bigger hand, even though they go hand in hand. Conditioning is like the bigger one.
Okay. Oh, great. So you mentioned earlier that you played basketball as well. Um, are you always been like a two-sport player, or is there other sports that you play that we don't know about?
I've always played like at least two sports,
Hmm.
and the third sport is like track, but I'm not serious about it. It's more like to keep in shape.
Okay.
Same thing for basketball.
Yeah. I mean, you were great in basketball too. So just to keep in shape for that, Jesus, like very talented. So let's talk about that basketball experience. You average double double, 11 points a game, 12 rebounds a game. How's that transition like from playing, volleyball and then just shifting over to basketball?
It was pretty easy for me, I
Hmm.
say, because I'm athletic and
Yeah.
I've been training for basketball. And I'm not serious about it. I've been training for it since my sophomore year in high school.
Okay.
So about 4 years ago.
All right. So we talked about how great the Lady Tigers volleyball team was. Um,
Right.
all right. So basketball, you guys had your setbacks, right? Mentally, how difficult is it to be dominant in one sport, and then and the other in basketball have that struggle? Like, how's that mentally to you?
If I focused on if I focused on the reward or the praise of winning,
Hmm.
then I would have been in a really bad mental place because obviously we weren't winning as much
Yeah.
and it was a tough season for us. So what I focused on was like doing my best and getting in shape for volleyball. Because that's my main sport. Volleyball is my main sport.
Yeah.
So I
Uh,
wasn't really too worried about winning or losing games, but I just wanted to do my best. And I didn't want to get like humiliated
yeah, of
as
course.
well.
Uh-huh.
So that played into effect.
Was there a part of your game in basketball that you kind of try to, tune in and like work on while you're playing during the season? Or it was just, let me stay in shape and do my best kind of thing?
Yes, it was kind of like let me stay in shape, but I was working with the assistant coach and like the men's assistant coach, and they both helped me with my shooting form.
Okay.
And it feels good to work at something that you're not really good at
Yeah.
and to see yourself get better in it. So it was kind of like fulfilling.
Okay, cool. So you were a CUNYAC All-Star for basketball. I mentioned the accolades earlier, two-time Rookie of the Week in volleyball. You were also the 2019-2020 NJCAA second team All-American Academics, going back to your 3.8 GPA. How does those accolades make you feel? And is it something that you strive for during the season?
Okay. They make me feel appreciated. I say like getting awards and people recognizing the things that you do
Hmm.
or your performance. Like I feel appreciated, but I don't focus on like let me get this award next or let me
Yeah.
try and get as much praise as possible. Like I said, that would be really bad for my mental health. And just the way I think right now is that like I won't settle for whatever awards I get now
Hmm.
because I'm not trying to get an award. I'm just trying to like strive for my own success and for my own satisfaction.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I say if I get the biggest award for being my best and being my happiest and being like satisfied with what I'm doing, then I'd be happy. But if I don't, like I'd still be happy.
Okay.
See
No,
what I
that's
mean?
yeah. Yeah. I totally get it. It's a good way to view it. Have good perspective on that. Um, so let's transition a little bit here and talk about where we are at right now in the world. Obviously back in March, COVID-19 happened, and we were kind of put on pause for a little while. So hopefully that everything on your end is fine. Hopefully you and your family are healthy and not affected by it. Um, how has this pandemic, affected you in your life right now?
Um, it affected me, I would say, in a positive way
Hmm.
because it allowed me to have more time to refocus and to push off the foundation that my family and I set for myself over the years.
Yeah.
Um, Even though like I didn't have my job, like I was part of an internship at QCC called RIMS, and it
Okay.
was a paid internship. So I still
Oh,
had a
that's
little
great.
money from that.
Yeah.
But then like there was a time like for 2 months I didn't have money coming in and I didn't have my job. But I was still okay because my mom, she's an essential worker. She gets money from her job.
Okay.
And basically I just decided instead of letting like myself be a victim to the circumstances, I just started like I finished off the year strong, first of all, and then the semester strong, and then like I started working towards like my next goal, like working out over the summer
Hmm.
and like staying in shape, basically staying mental shape, like keeping in touch with my friends, my loved ones.
Yeah,
You
for
know.
sure. No, that's great. I'm glad that you made it, a negative experience into a positive. That's awesome. Um, so you mentioned, working out during the summer. Your coach, Jason Demas, right? Am I pronouncing his last name right?
Yes.
Uh, he reached out. He told me that you've been working on drill videos for shoulder strengthening, footwork for the incoming freshman class. How was that process like, and who came up with that idea?
So Jason, he came to me asking if I could demonstrate a couple of like the drills that we do for warm-ups and a couple of transition videos for my position, my middle blocking position.
Hmm.
And because we don't have like you know, usually we have a handbook that he gives out every season, and we don't have that. So he made like a online classroom or a gym, like a locker room type of thing,
Yeah.
with different links and different sections for like resources and videos, workout plans, stuff like that. So he asked me to just demonstrate a couple of things so people could see visually instead of like
Yeah.
hearing or reading, because it's just better.
No, that makes a lot of sense. Are you and like the team, like how's that going? Like, are you guys still meeting like a weekly thing, bi-weekly thing? Like, how you guys staying in shape with that?
Right now we meet twice a week with our assistant coach and we're
Hmm.
training a little bit. We go to a sand court like out in LIC, Long
Okay.
Island City,
Hmm.
and we practice there a little bit. Sometimes we practice on our own. We go to grass parks and we play on the fields.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So we're almost near the end. Unless there's something specifically you want to talk about, by all means, just chime right in and throw that out there. Um, So I was doing some research on you, and I saw that you have a commitment to play with St. Francis College volleyball team. What is it about the Terriers that made you decide to play there?
Um, I really wanted to go there because one, it's a Division 1 school. I've always
Exactly.
wanted to
Yep.
play Division 1, and it was the only chance that I got to, the only opportunity I had, to go to Division 1, because I
Yep.
did get rejected by a couple of schools,
That's
but
their
that didn't
loss.
stop me from trying. So I saw that they liked one of my videos, my highlight videos, and
Yeah, I
then that's
saw
when I
it.
decided to like pounce on them. Like I reached out to them, and then the coach, she liked me, and then like I just decided like let me just take this as soon as I have it.
No, that's awesome. Yeah, I saw that highlight video. I'm glad you brought it up because, man, again, like I would hate to be on the opposite side of that net and just get all those spikes from me. Like Jesus. Uh, honestly, I think I want to say it was your game. I don't know if it was the CUNYAC championship or maybe it was maybe like a semifinals, but I remember. I wish it was you. I can't positively say it was you, but I remember watching someone from the Lady Tigers spike a ball and then bounced off someone from the opposing player, and she falls like right on her butt. And I'm like, I could just imagine how many times that happened to your opponents. Like you guys are so dominant, and you especially in those highlight reels. Like my God, like how's that make you feel knowing that St. Francis saw your highlight reel and like boom was like it, like we need to kind of get her kind of thing.
Honestly, I was really surprised
Yeah.
because I feel like, well, me looking at myself in any type of video, I feel like I could be a little faster.
Hmm.
Like I feel like everyone looks slower in video than what they actually are. But I was really surprised, and I'm glad that he saw the potential in me because I know I have like the potential, and I really want to get better. So I feel like I won't let him down in his decision at all.
Hmm. I mean, again, I like I said, I interned when you guys last year, 2019. So I wasn't too familiar with some of the sports that CUNYAC covers. Obviously, like basketball, baseball, kind of things like that. I know, but volleyball was new to me. And to say that you need to work on your speed, I thought you were just fast as heck, just using my eyes. Um, and for you to say I want to be faster, like man, like that's you're gonna make some noise when you step up with St. Francis. So I'm glad to hear that. um, so let's keep going down this road with St. Francis. I just want to get
Mhm.
your perspective on one thing. You did mention that it's an opportunity to be with Division 1. Last year, I was looking at their stats. They finished 14 and 17, 7 and 9 in conference play. They haven't had a winning season in quite a while. Um, what do you think you could bring to the team that's going to get them over that hump?
I think it'll be like a perfect situation, but then again, Division 1, like it changes, it
Yeah.
varies a lot with each year. Um, but based off of their record, I feel like I'd fit in really well because I don't take losses to heart. Like I
Hmm.
use it as like a source of motivation and like a space to get better.
Yeah.
So the record doesn't like phase me at all. Like I don't really mind. I just
Hmm.
like being in that environment where it's really intense and you know and their games, even if they lost the games, it would like either go to 4 or 5 sets. Like it's not like the team is bad at all.
Yeah.
Like it's
I mean,
just
that wasn't the point I was trying to get
very neck
across.
and neck.
Yeah. If it came across that way,
Yeah,
that wasn't my intention.
nah, I know.
um,
But it's just that last thing that they need. I feel like I could provide that in a
yeah.
way,
Okay.
like just to like give that extra push, maybe to get them the 25, like 23,
Yeah.
in a set.
No, I get it 100%. Um, so again, Bianca, thank you so much for joining us. I have one more question, and it's just a real simple one.
Mhm.
And sorry if you hear the sirens. Um, you mentioned you wanted to get into nursing, but that's right now. In the future, what does the future hold for you?
Um, Simply the future holds a lot of success for me. Like, I'm certain, and I will make sure that happens.
Mm-hmm.
And not only for me, but for the people around me.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying like I will surround myself with successful people, but I also bring people with me to be successful. Because like I treat life as a competition. Like most of my life is a competition, like between sports, you know, school is really competitive, but not like in a bad way where I want my opponents to lose, but in a way to have fun. Because if your opponents are slacking, there's no competition, it's not fun at all. So I want my opponents to do their best so I can do my best, maybe even better. And then, I just, want to be successful. I want to help other people be successful as well.
No, that's great. And I mean, you're starting in already with those drill videos. So, you definitely got your foot in the right direction. And I wish you all the success. I wish you success in obviously in St. Francis. Do you guys have another season coming up? Like I know COVID's kind of putting a pause on things, but as a Lady Tiger, do you still have one more season under your belt or no?
Yeah, the plan is that we start practicing in January, and then our
Mm-hmm.
season starts end of January. But it all depends.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hopefully things turn out for the best and we could get back into some sort of normalcy. So again, Bianca, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for spending some time with me. Again, all of luck in the future. All of luck if you do continue with your last season as a Tiger, and obviously best of luck in your professional life.
Thank you so much. You too.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right. Thank you guys for joining us. I really appreciate it. Remember, our Spotlight series is going to be airing every Friday at 4 p.m. on our website, CUNYathletics.com. Again, thank you, Bianca, for joining us. And until next time, cheers.